Guys, it is time to move the ship all the way over to the fishing village. So right now we are using the steam tugboat, which is the Wisconsin, I do believe. Here it is right here, to tow our ship all the way there. There's also a alligator or a crocodile or something trying to get us. But we are actually moving. I was expecting this to be more difficult to move. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and get all the way over to the fishing village using this boat. Hopefully, we'll make it. Oh my, these lines are stretched out pretty long, to be honest. They started really short where the back of this boat was actually touching the front of that one. So these are stretched pretty far indeed. But it is working. How far do we have to go to get to where we need to be? Oh no. It is so far, isn't it? 16 kilometers. Okay, well, let's get to the wheelhouse and see if we can make it go in that direction. We get a little bit of lean every time I turn, but it's just the way it's gotta be, unfortunately. So yeah, we're turning towards the direction we need to go in. This is actually working. That's crazy. And now we are here. Look at this beast coming into the harbor. This is crazy. This thing has done an excellent job and we've made it all the way here. The thing is though, I don't know how we're supposed to dock it, so I think I'll figure that out and we'll get building, because today I think what I want to do is start working on the actual steam engines that are gonna go probably around here, I guess. I don't really know. Anyway, let's pull it in and get working on it straight away. I suppose it's time to get straight to building then. So, let's figure out how big the room that we want is going to be. And I've already sort of decided that it's going to be this big right here. And this is going to be the room where the fireboxes are. So, let's figure this out together. I'm going to chuck this guy back in here. There we go. And obviously I'm going to paint that back together. There we go. And there we go. And then we're gonna, well, chuck these guys together. There you go. So that bit's there, and this bit is here, and this right here is where the fireboxes will be. Although saying that, I don't know if this is good enough. We'll see. So, firebox, I don't care if it's the large one or the small one, but I think I want two. Yeah, so we'll put them next to each other, and we'll put them right there like that. I think this could be bigger. I actually do. I think it could be bigger. So what I'm probably going to do is send it back to here instead. There we go. So I moved it backwards from there, which is where the wall was before, to here, which I think is probably fair enough. This is then going to be built all the way up to the top of the actual ship itself. Very, very weirdly, but there you go. We're going to have to be able to get around this somehow, which we will do, but we'll have to figure that out afterwards. So shove that all the way up to there. But actually, let's delete the top layer. We'll delete the top layer from here as well. And then we might actually move it downwards a little bit too. What I think I might do from here is actually put in a floor. Pretty much all the way across there. We're going to do it from here all the way to the front edge as well. Hopefully I haven't built anything on the outside. I haven't, so we're good. Yes. Alright, that makes sense. Going back from there then, we are going to shove one in here. And essentially this is going to go in all the way at the back as well. Hopefully that hasn't come out the sides. It doesn't seem to have. So I think that's fine. Okay. Still seems pretty crazy, but I think we're in a good situation here. Oh, before I do anything else, actually, we are going to be deleting a little bit more. Essentially, I think we're going to bring this down from there. And I'm going to delete this all the way to this corner. Is that right? I don't know if that's actually quite right. Let's build that guy back in, and then I'm going to shove it from here down to there. What I'm also going to do is change the white color everywhere to be the off-white color instead. It'll definitely look a lot nicer. Alright, well, getting on with it. What I want to do next is actually delete an entire layer of weight. It is going to mean that the empty boat actually sits a little bit higher. However, that is actually fine. It's getting a little bit laggy because it's just so many blocks, but delete all of those all the way backwards to there, and that's pretty good. We now only have one layer of weight, but I think that's okay to keep. Okay, so I've gone ahead and painted the floor in here quite a dark color, which I think is fine. But what I want to do before I do anything else in here is actually add a side to the boat. So wherever we actually have like sides, we are going to be adding wedges all the way down. So the interior of the boat is smooth, just like the exterior of the boat. I feel like it just makes sense to do this. So we're going to have to keep going up and down, sending it all the way across. And hopefully, once it's all smooth, it'll look pretty good. But I don't know yet. So it's going to take me a while. But let me go ahead and build this all up so it's very smooth in here. Well, that took an awful long time. That took ages and ages and ages, and we've done it sort of weirdly at the back. This isn't quite right, but it is what it is, so we're leaving it as it is. I think I want to paint all of the interior a different color. I don't think we need it to be this white, so we're gonna have to just jug fill all of it in, yeah, a different brown. Oh man, this is gonna take ages. There is more to it though, because I only did the downstairs, and now we need to do the upstairs. So more of this needs to get built in, which is exactly what I'm doing now. Oh my goodness. It's just gonna take forever, isn't it? This boat is so big! It is so big! Anyway, this goes all the way down to the end. I can't quite build it in there for some reason, but that's fine. Build this all the way back down to here, and there we go. Shove this guy on the end. If I can. Alright, fantastic. Shove that guy there, and I don't think I'm going to put one here. No. I do want to build this out a little bit. I think it's going to be quite a wide wall, but that should be fine. And all I got to do is build in the front section now. So I got to go from here all the way across to there, and I got to keep doing it until, well, I can't do it anymore. There we go. And then we need 1x2s, which is these guys, to be shoved into the end, and that will be doing this little bit right here. Excellent. Yeah. From there, I'm actually gonna, whoa, I'm not gonna delete that apparently. I'm gonna put this in the floor, and I'm gonna build this into here, like so. So that goes up there. And then we just have to build the rest of the thingamabobbies in as well, and that's fine. Yeah, so if that goes there, this goes here. I'm actually just going to do a flat wall at the end and paint that a little bit like so. Because I think that's, yeah, it's this bit. Okay, that's fine then. Nice. So far, so good. Well, well, well. I ended up painting the inside brown, as you guys can see. And, well, that is where the boiler room is going to be. My goodness, it is wide open, which feels strange, but that's fine. And right here is where the pistons are going to go, which, again, is kind of open, which is... yeah, again, kind of interesting. Don't know how I'm going to get down to each of these rooms just yet. And I don't really know what the interior is going to look like just yet either. But what I think we do is we build a boiler around this. We need some coal bunkers, probably in both the front and the rear of the ship, because they're kind of heavy. And then we need a way for the coal to actually get into the fireboxes. So we're going to have to try and figure that out too. But this is a good start. Alright, well, it's time to start building this thing, so, let's just do it, I guess. I'm gonna go ahead and shove this guy straight onto here like so. And essentially this boiler is gonna look like two sort of separate boilers to begin with, but once it gets back this way a little bit, it is all gonna join together. So, let's just go ahead and send this backwards quite far. There we go. Whereabouts are my funnels? I actually ended up straight in one, that's crazy. Let's go ahead and delete this right here so that we can see where it is. Although actually we'll go with there. And that is where the pipes are going to go up and out of. Yes. Let's go ahead and grab some of these and shove them on this end, because I need to seal it all off. There we go. Alright, whack this guy across here. Very nice. And attach these guys together as well. There we go. Alright, cool. Good. 1, 2, 3, 4. Excellent. Attach this together all the way across there, and this is all just going to get built up quite far. Oh my goodness, there we go. So that is a very, very weird shaped boiler thingamabobby, but we're going to go with it anyway. Something that I am going to do is actually round off the roof of this in kind of a weird way. So if I shove that guy across there like that, we're just going to attach these guys together. There we go. You're not really going to be able to see this very often anyway, so it's kind of fine. But then we're going to go ahead and do another one of these guys. Or maybe we should have started with that. And then put this on here like that. And that's it. There you go. We're not really going to be able to see it from above anyway, so what we'll do is we'll bring this all the way across here like so. I'm going to delete all of these little areas right here, and all of these little areas right here, and then we're going to build that in. So from there to there, that is all in. We're going to go ahead and paint that little bit right there, and this little bit right here, and I guess, actually, all of the floor needs to be painted like this too. There we go. Perfect. Alright, on the outside edge, we're going to do a very, very similar thing. So, let's go ahead and build from here all the way across to, well, actually, I don't know where to like, there. There we go, good. Delete all of this. We're going to put a wall all the way across there. We're going to delete all of this little piece as well. And we're going to paint it all in again because, well, we need to. So, there you go. That is perfect. We can now get around through the top. Most of this is open. The boiler room is huge. And that is fine, I think. Alright, so obviously the boilers are in this room right here. And, well, we're going to have the pistons in the room behind it. It kind of feels weird. Obviously, I've got the fireboxes on this side. Realistically, they probably should be on this side, but never mind. So let's go ahead and open up, or actually just put some doors in here so that we can get through. Here we go. Yep, door. We're just going to go ahead and shove that right there like that and build this back in. Excellent. We're also going to change the color of the entire floor down here to be this color because realistically we're going to have coal bunkers down here and just, well, storage. So that's all going to be painted too. Yeah, I feel like that makes sense. I've decided to make the interior white for now so that when we are building on the inside, we can actually change the things with no problems whatsoever. Although saying that, if I then go to change it back, let's have a little look. Wait, is it that piece? No, it's not. It's this bit on the inside. Yeah, that's all fine. All right, cool. Yeah, that works then. It's just so that we can actually see whilst we're building. It's a lot brighter of a color so you guys can see what's going on. Anyway, it's now time to start building these guys, so let's get them in here and see what happens. I think the color we're going to do it in is going to be this sort of greeny gray, and we're going to have room for these, so 1 and 2. There you go. We're going to have 2 separate versions, or 2 separate banks, I guess, or maybe actually 4 separate banks, I should say. So how far away from the wall is this one? It is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. All right, 2 banks. Is that weird? Should I just attach them together? Probably, but I think this will be fine. Originally, I was going to have 2 on this side, and then I was going to have 2 on this side. But I'm against that now. We're actually going to go ahead and attach all of these guys to a prop shaft. They're just going to go all the way to the back. And that's how it's going to work. So, let's grab this. The prop shaft itself is going to be in this greeny color. We're going to shove this from here all the way forwards to there. There we go. If we need to get over this or under this or whatever, we're going to have to build a bridge or climb underneath or whatever. So, that's fine. Anyway, it's a prop shaft, so I'm going to make it sort of cylindrical. And that should be good. Yeah. All right, all the way to the pistons. Crazy business. There you go, from here all the way forwards as well. There we go, and that's fine, I think. Alright, let's go ahead and shove some coal in here now then. So, coal is very heavy. It is very, very heavy. I think I'm just going to fill the boiler room full of these ducts, which are all full of coal, by the way. And I think that's going to be pretty good. The thing is, they're not actually attached together, but can I attach them together like this? I actually can. So we're going to do that. There we go. We're going to shove these guys in here. And we might as well actually go all the way up to there and there. All right, perfect. Yes. What I might do is actually have a way of filling the bunker as well, just here. I think that would actually be pretty useful. Yeah. Imagine if we could open this up and fill it from here. Ooh. That could be pretty cool, but doesn't really matter right now. This will not be enough coal for us. we're going to need more. And the thing is, I don't want to have anyone down here filling these with coal constantly, because that would be really annoying. So we're just going to go ahead and keep it connected to this, and hopefully that will be fine. So let's drop this out of the bottom, and let's send this. In fact, let's attach it together. Oh, we can't. It has to be attached together like this. In fact, let's just use this bit then. There we go. So attach this guy to there. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Excellent. We're going to have it come out of here. Pretty wild. This is pretty wild to have it just come straight out of the boiler, but it is what it is. And it's going to go straight through this, which is going to go through a wall. Crazily enough. Wait, what am I doing, actually? Wait. No. Delete these pieces? There we go. So that's going to go through there, straight through. And then this room is going to be filled with, you guessed it, more of the big thingamabobbies. More of these guys. So let's go ahead and chuck it on there like that. Oh, yeah. There we go. So this is going to be like a huge coal bunker room right here. It's not going to be like full of these, but it's going to have a lot of these. There we go. I don't know how much coal is in all of these, but I would imagine quite a lot. Anyway, from there, I'm going to go ahead and seal this off, I think. In fact, let's just box this all in for now, and that should be fine. For a little bit, I guess. There we go. Excellent. We're going to have doors so that we can actually get through here. That makes sense, right? Here we go. Grab a door. Chuck it in. Yes. And that's going to go there. Perfect. Oh, no. Perfect. Very good. And then we can actually get into the coal rooms. We're then going to delete this guy. And I'm going to have this seal off there. And probably here too. There we go. Alright. I want to see how much coal is in this thing now. Also, we should probably see if it still floats. Alright, yes, there we go. It does, in fact, still float, so that's all good. Yeah, I'm happy with that. I am very happy with that. Okay, so let's get ourselves a dial or whatever and see how much coal we actually have. 7,101. That is how much coal is in this thing. 7,000. I feel like that's quite a lot, but I don't think this ship is balanced enough now. So I want to put some coal in a bunker back here, and I think this is where we're going to fill it from. So I need another fill port right here, or actually off to the sides, so that it can get filled in. I think that'll be pretty cool. Alright, here we go. So, I've boxed this all in, but essentially there is coal inside of this entire thing. In fact, I'll show you. There you go, look at that. That's pretty crazy, I know. But essentially, instead of having to box off the entire thing, we are going to extend this out to the sides. So, there's 1, 2, and 3. We're then going to bring it up through the floor, which seems crazy, but it is what it is. Alright, here we go. So it's going to come up through here to there. Delete all of that. Delete all of this. Nope, no. Keep that in. Do 1, and this is where the bunker's going to be. So, delete around here for now. I actually don't know how big these things actually are. Delete out to there. Delete all of this, and that. There we go. Get ourselves the actual hopper and chuck it in. Okay, so it's going to go in the floor, like so. I am going to go ahead and delete another space right here, and we'll have another one right there. And that right there is how we're going to fill this thing. And there we go. She's sitting a little bit nicer in the water now, which is kind of exactly what we needed. So that's good. That is very, very good. Okay, right. So I guess we actually need to get the engines running. At the minute, we've obviously put all of the coal in, which there is lots of it. In fact, there was 7,100 before. Now there's 12,672. That's a lot of coal. That is a lot of coal. And there is our pistons. That's pretty cool. I haven't made this sort of central, which is kind of annoying. But that should be fine. Also, the coal duct goes from the boiler all the way through to the back where we can then fill up. So what I'm going to do is fill that in, sort of box it in. And then we need to make sure these guys actually work. Alright, so I'm thinking we go ahead and shove our boiler thingamabobby in here. We obviously need to attach the pipe into there and there, so let's do that real quick. And I have had to delete some of our coal bunker for this, but that's sort of fine. So we'll bring this all the way out. We'll bring this all the way out too. Obviously, this one's going to have to go down and to the left, and so is the other one. So just do this, and can't get over there. There we go. We're going to do the same thing here. We're going to do the same thing here, and same thing there. All right, that's all attached together. Excellent. Steam comes out of here, and steam goes in here. Oh, sorry, water goes in here. So that's a thing. Air is here, and exhaust is there. So obviously the exhaust is going to have to go all the way up and out of here, which is obviously where the... Wait, is that full of water when I spawn it in? That room must be full of water because it's open. Yeah. Let me have a little look there. Let's have a little look straight down here. Oh yeah, alright, cool. So the boiler itself is full of water. That's not great. Okay, so I've got a pipe going all the way to the exhaust now, almost. We just need to attach it together, just like this, and whack this one into there. Alright, pretty good. We're then going to go ahead and send this one out of here, send it sideways, here we go, and then this will actually go to a very similar place as the exhaust. The main reason for that is because, well, it's a high place on the boat, and obviously if there's a high place, it's always pretty much going to be full of air, so there you go. Unless the boat is upside down, of course, and it is one of my boats. So the likelihood of that happening isn't exactly, it's not exactly zero. Anyway, let's go ahead and send this up. There we go. And I am going to box this off now. So just do this. There you go. And now that that's actually boxed off, there won't be water inside the engine room anymore, and that should be fine. I think I want these to be a little bit taller too, so I'm going to go ahead and just pop another one of these directly on top of there. It's not the nicest looking thing in the world, and one of you guys has said, obviously, it gets in the way of vision. And that is true, but I'm okay with it. Yeah, I am actually okay with it. They are quite big, but that's fine. So, let's get ourselves some fluid ports. We're going to chuck those on the top. And, well, I'm going to try and make sure that the exhaust goes into pretty much all of these, except the one that the air supply is in, which is right in the center. So, I'm going to have to attach a bunch of pipes to these, but that should be fine. There we go. So, on the underside, we're going to be deleting this guy, and I just need to make sure the pipe goes into every one of these guys. Look at this. Look at this. Bam! That is a mess. So this pipe right here is our air supply, and the rest of the pipes all joined together are actually our exhaust. So it should fire exhaust out the top, which is okay. So I want to see what that looks like, see if I've done it right. So all I need to do is get a button. Yes. Chuck it right here and attach that down to there and there. And that should work out fine. Yes. It will actually just turn on automatically now, which is good. However, one thing that I will say is that I have zero control over the air. So, that's not the best, but it's fine. So, let's just turn it on and we'll see what the smoke looks like. Oh, I didn't give electricity to it. That's fine. Because we can do this. Boop. Okay. Oh, yeah. That is, crazy looking, but I think I like it. It's time for more plumbing, unfortunately. So, essentially, we need boiling water to come out of here, and we need cold water to go back in. So, I think the way we're going to do it is just have it come out of here somewhere. Doesn't have to be at the front. Actually, we can do it back here, because the boiler itself is there. So, actually, let's try and line it up with the boiler. Yep, that works. And then, yeah, we can just pipe it into here. Okay, so, pipe-wise, we are going to go ahead and send it from here, backwards. Then we're going to go up. Wait, is this water in? I'm assuming it is. Yes. All right, water in. We send it up from there. We send it around the corner. There we go. There we go. And there we go. Although, actually, I might send it... let's send it up. There's a lot of pipage going on here. I'm not a great big fan of pipes, to be honest. Or doing all of this stuff. Because I never put them in like a nice area, and maybe I should. Maybe I should start doing that. Anyway, this gets to here. We're then going to send it upwards. Ayash. And it's going to go out. One higher than that. There you go. And out. Excellent. So that's going to be the water in. That's fine. We then need to go down here and send this up because it needs to come out of here as well. There you go. All right, grab this guy, shove it on there, and that right there is going to be the steam. So actually, let's delete these guys and put in what we need. So that's going to go there, and this is going to go here. Excellent. All right, that works. So they're coming into the piston room right here on the wall. So the top one is water back in. So I can't remember how these work. What have we got? So steam out. Steam out is on this side. So essentially steam out is going to go back into there. And the steam in is going to go from here into the internal bits. Okay. So let's add a pipe across the wall. And we'll actually do it that way. Even though maybe it's not the best. I don't know. So let's just send it across anyway. And then if we need to move things around, we totally can. Okay. The steam from this as well is actually going to go into each of them, like all of them. And they are going to still work like separate banks, I think. I think that's how I want to do it. Okay, so it's going to have to go up. Probably from here. There you go. Not by very much, in fact. Just one. It has to go up by one. That's it. And then we send it from there to here. And then we don't have to worry about anything on that wall anymore. Not right now, anyway. So now all we need to do is get some pipes. And essentially connect all of this together. So we need one of these guys right here. That's fine. Connect that up to there. Connect this guy to here. And actually it's going to go all the way to here as well. And then the top one will do the same when we can. Alright, delete this piece, delete that piece, and shove these guys into here like this. Right, that one's done. That one's done. Okay, excellent. We can now do this all the way backwards to here. And then we need this guy to go into there like that. We're going to need one in there, one in there. Okay, so it's just these guys, the T-pieces, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And that is all of them connected. That's fine. And would you look at that, I just copied and pasted the same things that are on these ones to the outside, because essentially the steam is going to come out and it needs to go somewhere, which is going to get forced back into here. However, we need a condenser, or many condensers, in order to turn the steam back into water. So, how do I do that? I don't know. I haven't built anything like this in Stormworks in quite a while. And I think I'm going to have some issues. But that's fine. So, what I want to do is actually put the condensers here, if possible. Or we can actually put in quite a few if I do it like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's definitely going to cool it down. But is there going to be a problem with that? Possibly, but I don't know. I think I'm going to do it anyway. So what we're going to need to do is have the... Oh, steam in, steam in, steam in. I'm going to have to like have these flip out. Alright, hang on. Every other one needs to be flipped over to the other way around. So what's this? Water out. Water out. Nope, other way around. Steam in. Okay. There you go. Steam in, and steam in. Is that right? Yes. Okay, so... No... It all kind of needs to be the other way around. But that's fine. Right, okay, let's do it. So, pipes. All I need to do is have this go to there. Alright, this go to here. This one's going to go to here. This one's going to go to here. Does this work? I'm assuming it does. This one's going to go down and out. Okay. This one's going to go in. So... This one from here to here, from here to here, there to there, and then if I pipe it all together, all I need to do is this. All the way to there, and then on this side, all the way to here. I think that'll be fine. It might not be the right way of doing it, but I think it'll be fine. So let's go ahead and send this across here, attach this into there, zoom this guy across, and it needs to be attached straight up to that, if possible. So it goes there, and whoop, there we go. Perfect. Alright, well, it's all connected now, so all of these are fine. The problem is that none of them actually have any cooling in them. Can I attach these guys to, like, the water on the outside and have it pump through? Would that actually work better than what I'm about to do? Maybe. I don't know. I was just going to add some radiators. I know it's not really correct for the ship, but that's what I was thinking. That's what I was thinking. So realistically then, I might actually just attach all these together and use the same water flow for all of them. Is that crazy? That might be a little bit crazy. But you know what? Let's just do it. There you go. Delete these guys. Send it straight down from there. Send this one across and then straight down from there. And we're going to have it just be here on the outside of the boat. Yeah. This could be a terrible idea. I don't know whether it'll actually even work. Maybe I should test it before I put it into this, but this can be the test, so maybe that's fine. So essentially, this is going to use seawater to cool down the engines. Oh, to cool down the steam, sorry. Okay. We then whack this all together, like so. Whack this all together as well. Doesn't matter which way around it is, it's actually fine to be either way around. We're then going to get white, shove this guy onto here like so. It's going to bring it down. It's going to send it sideways. That's going to send it down. And we're just going to zoom it across. Okay, very good. And then this one. Very good. Okay. So far, so good. The bottom of the boat. This looks weird, but it's going to have to be on here anyway. So chuck that guy right there. Send this one down a tiny bit and chuck this one right here. And then we're just going to paint them. There we go. I'm not actually going to do anything else to make these fit better. They are what they are, and they are going to stay where they are. That's fine. Alright, pumps. Here we go. So what I'm going to do is add a pump into both of these. One's going to be pointing up, and one's going to be pointing down. Doesn't matter which way around it is. And, well, we're just going to box it in. That's it. Alright, there we go. Boxed in it is. Okay, next thing then. I can't remember how these work, but the offset is going to be 50. Is that correct? And then on this side, it's going to be minus 50. Let's just see how that goes. It might work out fine. It might not. Who knows? But I think I'm just going to attach these guys together like this. This could be a terrible way of doing it again, but it is what it is. We're going to zoom this up from here, and I am going to connect it directly onto the prop. That's it. There you go. It's connected to the prop now. We'll see what kind of speed we get out of this. I'm going to assume not very fast. I haven't put any gearboxes in or anything like that, but it should be fine. Here we go. Speedo. Linear speed sensor. Whack that right there. Connect this guy to the speed sensor. And I think we're good to go. I don't have any throttle controls, but that's fine because we don't have anything to put the throttle controls on right now. Although we could, very easily, but never mind. So, currently we are going 0. Alright, very good. Our coal amount is 12,162. Excellent. That's just gone down by 2, that's fine. And now we just have to wait for the boilers to heat up. And then we'll see what kind of speeds it gets. Maybe. Who knows? Not me. I enjoy building like the exterior and stuff like that. I'm not great with engines. So on my next build, what I might do is actually just fully focus on the actual hull and stuff like that. And then maybe make like a build challenge. Oh, that would actually be pretty cool. But like a build challenge for anyone that wants to put an engine in it. Or the interior, or whatever. I think that would actually be pretty nice. It might even be a better experience for you guys. I'm not sure. Alright, well, from above, this is what we can see. So, the pistons currently are not moving. Not moving whatsoever. The fireboxes are, of course, on. We can actually see that from here, which is crazy. The water is not going back. I haven't reattached the water. Never mind. One sec. Oh, I wasn't watching. I wasn't watching. They are spinning right now, which means, are we moving? Is the propeller even attached? That is the next question. The propeller is spinning. Extremely slowly. Which means we are likely not moving? Question mark? Let's get rid of all the wind, just to see what's happening here. Hang on. I think I need a gearbox. Because that ain't right. Because they are spinning, right? They're not spinning particularly fast, but they are going around. Does it make more sense to have more boilers? Would that help? Create more steam? Possibly? I feel like that would make more sense. Because the more boilers we have, the more steam they produce, the more steam goes into the pistons, the more power comes out of the pistons. Possibly, question mark, the more faster the pistons go round. The more faster the pistons go round, the more faster the boat goes. Am I right? Maybe. But right now we're not moving, so I think we might need more boilers. Ooh! Okay, so I added 2 more boilers, as, well, you guys can't see. But these guys are definitely going around faster than they were, I think. Which means this guy's probably going around I think I need gearboxes. Because this should work. I don't know. Yeah, I think it needs a gearbox. Although this is slowing down. What's the RPS here? Yeah, that's not great. That's not great. The other thing is, it could be due to the piston orientation and stuff like that, so, yeah. I think I'm just gonna put a gearbox in it. I don't see why not. Let's, find out where a gearbox can go. We're just gonna put it here. And I'm gonna put in 5 3-to-1 gearboxes. That's gonna sound really ridiculous. But it's fine. Obviously, one of these has to be reverse. But that's okay. Alright, here we go. 3-to-1, 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 and 3-to-1! There we go, and this one can be a reverse gear. Not that we need it right now, but let's see. Oh, I can actually hear the propeller this time, which means we're going. Oh my! Okay, yeah, no, this thing is flying now. At a speed of 7! No, 6! 6! 4, 6, 4, 6, 3, 6. All right, okay. You get it. So what I'm thinking we do is, I think there's probably a problem with the fact that we've attached this piston and this piston to that piston and then that piston. So I'm gonna detach it from there, and I'm gonna put those straight into the prop shaft, and hope that that works better. Alright, so now they're both connected to the prop shaft separately, so let's have a little look at this, if I can. Away! You can see that these ones are connected at this end. It comes up and into here. This one comes up and into here, which means that, well, it should be working, I think. The other option is, or the other problem that we might have, is that these guys are at the wrong orientation. So it makes it a little bit jaggedy. So what we might do is make them closer together, which makes them nicer. Or we work it so that this one, and these two act like one bank. Which, I could have just put them all together if I was going to do that, but, never mind. Alright, let's go see what kind of speeds we're getting now, whether what I did changed anything. I doubt it, but let's see. 6 to 5 to 6 to 4. No, it's the same. It's the same. It is moving though, and I'm happy with that. And if it's like an early steam engine, then maybe this is fine to be all wonky. Who knows? Also, from the bridge, you can actually still see a lot. Like, these things are not actually in the way as much as you'd think, because you can walk all the way out to here and you can see pretty much everything. And if you walk to the other side again, you can just see everything except from what you can't see over, you know. And then you can see obviously everything behind us. Obviously, when there's sails, that's going to be more of a problem. But, yes, this engine is going to need more fine-tuning. Obviously, this is just very rudimentary right now. And I haven't really messed with steam engines an awful lot, so I'll have to try and figure out something. But at least they're running, you know? At least they are actually moving the boat. What I might do, just as a quick test before we finish, is move these guys back to be more, well, closer together, and we'll see what happens. So what I mean is, this one's going to be all the way at 0.5. This one's going to be at 0.25. Actually, no. Where would it be? Where would it be? We'll just go 0.25. If this is a 5-cylinder, then this would make sense, because then that would be there, and then this one would be all the way at the end. But it's not. So this one actually has to go to 0, but if that one's at 0 and this one's at 0, that doesn't make sense. 0.33, then 0, then... Would it be weird to have it at 3? Yeah, that's not right either. What do I do here? We're gonna go with minus 0.33, then minus 0.1, then, whoa. Then the same here, yeah, and then 3 here. Hopefully that'll be smoother. I think I've done it the same everywhere. Let's try again. And, oh yeah, there's a tsunami currently happening. So we're at 7, and it is dropping down again, but it, is it gonna drop all the way down? It is more of a constant speed, rather than like speeding up and slowing down. Because these guys are more working together, which is more smooth. So instead of like power coming out of this one, and this one at the same time, and then there's a gap, and then power comes out of this one and that one, then obviously it'll make it jittery. But because there's power simultaneously coming out slowly in each of them, then there's constant power, making us a constant speed, which is constant, very good. Yes. All right, this is not bad then. That is actually working out very good. Fantastic. Okay, well, we have our steam engines in. They're not the nicest looking. We are currently only going 5. Let's ignore it. Everybody look away. So next time, I think what we'll end up doing is sailing upriver. We're gonna go all the way through here, under the bridges, all the way around, and up to the North Harbor, which is where we'll start fitting the sails, I think. And maybe fiddling with the steam a little bit more, but who knows? So yeah, we'll let it happen, and we'll see what happens once it's happening. You know? Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed whatever the heck this was. The boat is now moving, tsunami sirens are still happening, and that's fine. Okay, sure. Maybe I should have built a smaller boat just to get the hang of steam again, but never mind. It's currently working.